Well, for most of us, we've probably reached that point where we can't really get too much farther inside the abyss, but one thing we can do is go back and play some of the earlier levels, or difficulties I should say, and get our jewels that way. And today, we're going to be going over the best jewels for the actual armor. Now, if you saw the weapon one we did the other day, I did kind of stress a little bit that there's no best 5 that everybody should be putting on. However, there is a couple of them there that if you do have it, you definitely want to slot it, but all the other ones are going to be kind of situational based by our gear and our build, and really depending on what style game mode we're going into. But with 35 different of these immortal armor jewels, there's a lot of them that I actually really like. Now the global HP plus 15%, that's definitely a huge one, and even if you have it at Mythic, which I believe is 12%, and then Legendary is 10%, I would definitely slot these things. Now if you are worried about accidentally merging this, make sure you have it at least equipped in your actual armor, and then that way, once you get 5 of the other ones, you don't have to worry about burning this one up. If you do think that merging this with 4 other ones is going to take whatever the stat the first one is, that's not the case. It's going to be completely random what the new one is, so don't get your hopes up on that and try to hang on to the stat. So there is 16 of these armor jewels that will actually carry over from S1 to S2, granted that they don't have that S1 symbol under them. The global defense plus 12%, the speed plus 20, nothing really wowing me there. And even the final damage reduction and basic damage reduction, those stats just don't seem really large enough to use up one of my slots. And then we get into a little bit more specific of the reductions there of combo, counter, physical, nothing too wild there, but the next one is going to be lightning damage reduction. Given how many people are using the Reaper's Staff, this is a great one you could get and throw on when going into PvP. The ones after that are going to be more of the ignore jewels, ignore combo, ignore counter, ignore physical, but the final one that's in here that's actually going to carry over is going to be an extra combo plus 1 minus damage 20%. And I know there's still a good chunk of players out there building around combo. Even if you're not, this could actually help you. So that's going to be one I'm going to be trying to go after, but given that it's a rare one, it might actually be hard to get. The next 7 are going to be coefficient ones, and these are going to be ones that I would go and say slot one of them based by your build. So daggers for Whisper, lightning for Reaper Staff, burn for the Star Staff users, and even the combo for the Sky Splitters and the counter for our Durian users out there. Don't really know if I'd go and try to slot one of the laser gun ones, but that is in there too if that's something that you fancy. Anybody could pretty much benefit from the rage one, so if you get that, consider yourself lucky. The next 2 are going to be based around immunity, and both of these could be very helpful in PvP. First one's going to be you're not going to receive the first 2 damages done to you, but the next one I actually like better given how many people are using the Shadow Ring, using the Icy Bubble, immune to the first 2 crowd controls. As I said the other day, I don't see it likely that somebody's going to be landing all 35 of these things at Immortal, but at least we kind of have an idea of what we should focus on more if you do happen to get maybe 6 or 7 of them. I could go without this whole doing more damage when the enemy has more than 70% health, or even the one that's going to be for every skill learned, you're going to get 1% of your global damage up to 20%. Given that those chapter stages are getting a little bit difficult up in the 190s, having this one right here of normal attacks have a 5% chance to stun doesn't sound like good odds, but this is one that I'm really hoping to get. Given that I am building around a lot of skill with the Reaper Staff, not really focusing on any heal, I do like this one of healing 15% every single turn. That sounds nice, and even the next one of getting a shield starting off at 60%, that sounds to be pretty huge too. Finally, the next 5 are all going to be kind of your skill-based ones or your brand selection inside the Abyss, and I was a little bit bummed out on the Joker one here. I don't really run into too many that are actually doing heal, so that was kind of a little bit of a sad day because I do use the dagger a lot when I'm playing with the Whisperer, and that Joker goes pretty nice with it. But even the Panda one, now that I'm getting further into the Abyss, things are getting a little bit more difficult, having the chance to freeze out there can definitely be helpful, so that's another one I'd like to see if I could land, and I might actually use it if I find it at Mythic too. So this is a set that I really like. Like I said, global HP, if you can get that, even that combo plus 1, that's going to be pretty beneficial. The damage coefficients, the lightning reduction for PvP, getting the shield. There's a ton of good ones to get in here, but as I said, try to get for those actual HP and even the shields, and then focus the rest of it based by the build and game mode you're going into. With any of these, if you're really unsure on what you should be using, the people inside the Discord that are specific for that weapon that you're using, check out those chats. A lot of good information there, and people are already at it testing these things out. But if you didn't see the best gems for the weapon and want to know all about it, take a look at this video right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.